Welcome everyone to another meditation before we make mandalas while we shelter. The title of this meditation is The Gift of the Iris Flower. I got an image just last week of an iris over the back of my neck and my shoulders, and I knew that that was for the meditation, so that's what we will do. Now, when you use flower essence therapy, and an iris can be used for that, so I needed to look up immediately, well, being I got that image, what does it mean? And I will read you what flower essence therapy is. Now, some of you have maybe used flower essences. You can buy them in a little bottle at the appropriate store, certainly not at your local grocery store. And you can use them for healing. They're subtle energy. It's like homeopathy, it's subtle energy. So this is what the flower essence book said. It's the soul's mission to build a rainbow bridge between spirit and matter. The pure light of spirit needs to be colored with feeling, and the rich darkness of matter needs to become luminous. This is the path of the artist. Iris essence can bring passionate creativity to one's life's work. The iris helps the inner life of the human soul harmonize with the soul of nature, and in this way become truly alive and vibrant. Flowers are the soul colors of nature. Now, the iris in Greek mythology was a goddess that connected heaven and earth. It's a very spiritually symbolic flower. My guides have given me many messages about flowers. You may see this book over here on the side. Those of you who have the book, pull it out and look at some of the messages that I receive from my guides, because they're beautiful and they just take you right into spirit. And if my book is also available on a PDF file on my website. So one of the exciting things in exploring flower essences, again, is that you can buy them in the little bottles, but guess what? You can call for them just out of the ether. If you want a certain kind of flower, a flower essence for healing, just call for it. And that's what we're going to explore today in the meditation. I've probably painted more irises than any flower. I started by painting flowers, and iris was it. And in fact, my guides came to me, one of them came to me as an iris coming on my forehead, and that was a very, very powerful, profound experience, seeing the iris there. Now, this time when I saw the iris, what was interesting is it was yellow. Now, I've never painted a yellow iris. I've always done the blue-violet ones, or violet. And so I had to look what that meant. Yellow iris means passion. Well, the iris brings passion into our lives, and creativity. Now, the other interesting thing about the yellow iris for me is that it also a golden yellow iris is about communication between heaven and earth. Now, last week I took a break. I didn't know that what would happen, and that was my very dear cousin, who was like a brother to me, passed away last Thursday. And so this yellow iris with this communication between heaven and earth, I think it's a message to me that I can probably communicate with him. So I think, let's just say this, we've decided to try this outdoors again, and if some noise comes up, we will just focus on our breath is the best thing. So let's do that. So I'll ring the bell and we will begin the meditation, the gift of that iris flower. So find yourself a comfortable posture, settling in, relax your body. Close down your eyes. Take several deep breaths and let yourself sink into your chair. Relax as deeply as you can. And with each breath, deeper breath, relax all the more. Sink deeper into your chair as much as you can. Now imagine yourself in your sacred space or your sacred garden. A place where you can relax and take off your shoes and your socks and feel the energy of the earth coming into your feet. Visualize an iris flower laying on top of your feet. Feel what that feels like. What is the subtle energy of the iris, and when it enters your body, how does that feel? Let's say a mantra today with this meditation, and we'll just call it Iris, Iris, Iris. So say a mantra as you have that iris on your feet. Iris, Iris, Iris. Until you feel the subtle energy of the iris very clearly in your feet. Take a breath. Breathing in the energy of the iris, and then begin to move the subtle energy of the iris up your legs. Let's move it to your first energy center, your first chakra, at the base of your spine. Let the iris rest in this area. And can you again say your mantra? Iris, Iris, Iris. Until you feel iris energy settling at your root chakra. Breathing in again, move the iris energy up to your second chakra. Saying your mantra. Iris, Iris, Iris. In your sacral center, in your pelvic cavity, let the iris rest there until you feel it settled. Now breathe in and move the iris energy to your solar plexus and let it rest there for a moment with your mantra. Iris, Iris, Iris. And move the energy up now to your heart chakra with your mantra, waiting until you can feel the iris settling into your heart chakra. Breathe and move the energy, the iris energy, up to your throat chakra. Saying your mantra until you feel the energy of the iris settling there. Breathe in and move the iris energy up to your third eye, the chakra between your eyebrows. Saying your mantra again, Iris, 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 until you feel the iris energy settling there. Breathe in and move the iris energy to the top of your head, to your crown chakra. And let the iris energy settle into your crown. Take several deep breaths and feel the iris energy throughout your body. Notice what your body feels, where the iris energy is most apparent. Now, if there's anywhere in your body that you feel you need extra energy or healing, feel and see the iris there. If you don't, fine. If you see it, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. Surround your body now that it's full of this iris subtle energy. Feel a big bubble of light, white light, and visualize yourself back in your sacred place with your feet still connected to the earth. Breathe and feel what this feels like. Full of this subtle iris energy. Begin to travel back from your sacred space to where you started your journey. We are almost at the end of our time together, and when the bell sounds, feel free to sit with your feelings and notice if you feel any different than when you started. Take it easy, be gentle with yourself, and congratulate yourself for taking this time for yourself. And before the sound of the bell, I have a Rumi excerpt for you. When you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving in you, a joy. So when you're ready, very gently open your eyes.